What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. The Hall of Fame. The class is taking shape. We have the next Hall of Fame inductees that are coming in the tag team is the Natural Disasters, because I was like, well, we are never going to get Demolition no time soon. I swore it was going to be Demolition when they signed that Legends deal, but no, we're getting Earthquake and Typhoon, John Tenta. So I'm happy to see John Tenta go into the Hall of Fame. I really am. And I like, was I a big Natural Disasters person? Like, you know, they put them together as a tag team. Like, sure, I felt as though they felt as though they could do better together than having them go in there individually. So, I mean, like, as long as I'm happy with John Tenta getting his Hall of Fame induction, you know, to say the least. But before we get into obviously what the category is that shook the Hall of Fame of this year, how do you guys feel about the Natural Disasters being a part of that? In your opinion,
I don't know who they are. So
okay, well, Typhoon is the Shock Master.
I don't have no connection to them.
Okay, I'm about to say, because Typhoon
that doesn't help.
Oh, he said that doesn't help.
It's that insanely old GIF, or when they show the wrestler that fell through the wall and his helmet fell off.
And hit that bedazzled Stormtrooper helmet.
And you know what? Flo has hit on that reaction. Is how I feel like a lot of people nowadays feels about the Natural Disasters going in the Hall of Fame. The Natural Disasters are going to Hall of Fame. Who's that?
Well, hold on now. Like, let's not go too far. Respect to the legends. Obviously, they're in the Hall of Fame for a reason. So respect to the legends. I just don't know who they are.
Stop that right now. Stop that.
What you mean?
Great Khali is in the Hall of Fame.
Can I respect my elders?
Great Khali is in the Hall of Fame right now. We're not going to sit and talk about some respect these legends, all right? The man won a rival.
Well, we know Great Khali. Great Khali is in there on that Coco Beware contract. Like,
who else came down with a parry? I got nothing.
I'm like, literally, Godfather's in the Hall of Fame for having hoes. Literally, that's the only reason why he in there.
The Godfather was insanely entertaining.
He was, because he had hoes
in the Attitude Era.
Quattro.
Him and the hoes.
Quattro. Take away the hoes.
I was a Godfather fan. I really was.
Okay. Hey, look. Take away the hose. What is he? Kama, the Supreme Fighter? That's what you want?
I want the Godfather in. I don't need Kama in. I don't need the Good Father in. I don't need Papa Shanko in. I just need the Godfather. I don't need the rest.
I'm about to say, take him away, and what you got? That's what you got. Okay? That's exactly what you got. No, I ain't trying to hear all that. But you know what? I do think that now there have been murmurings since 2014 about them starting to add matches into the Hall of Fame. And now it looks like in 2025 that's going to be official, because they have something called Immortal Moments now, where they're adding matches into the Hall of Fame. And this time we're getting a great one to start off. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart from WrestleMania 13 in Chicago. In a no disqualification submission match. And this is going to be added to Hall of Fame under the Immortal Moments. And I have to say, I think it's a great match to start off with, because honestly, you know they was probably going to try to start with Hogan and Andre, but Hogan got heat right now. So they was like, well, we ain't bringing it to the Hall of Fame. And honestly, let's call this what this is. It's to help sell tickets for something the tickets not being sold for. So if you're going to have Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart in attendance, they said they're going to be in attendance for the Hall of Fame, it's to help sell tickets, because right now the Hall of Fame ain't selling tickets like that because they probably so damn expensive, to be honest with you. So, but now they're starting to add matches, and I'm actually cool with this, because I do think though it is going to be a little bit of a cheap plug to get people to be like, I'm a 5-time Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a little weird, because when you start adding certain matches, it's going to have to be on here. But it's going to be a while before you can even get to some of the matches that need to be on here, because if you're doing one a year, it's going to take a lot, because there's going to be a lot of immortal moments that need to be, Hall of Fame matches. But you didn't seem too happy with it, Quattro, so it's your chance so I can hear your opinion.
Okay, so it's weird for me for wait, we starting? We good? I can just go in.
Yes. We're starting good.
It's weird. It's weird for me from the traditionalist view, because I haven't. So when you said that, they were talking about it before, I didn't know about that. So man, I don't follow stuff too closely. I don't care all the time. But with this, I was like, this is weird. It feels cheating. It feels like a sneaky way to get in the Hall of Fame for me. Your whole career ain't worth it, but. This match is good enough. Now, that doesn't pertain to the people that's in this year. I'm thinking about it as it goes future. Because 20 years from now, 20 years from now, we letting Sami Zayn in for his match with Johnny Knoxville.
Okay, I doubt it. I don't think we're going to come.
First of all, Sami Zayn got a lot of matches that could go in, and none of them is to Johnny Knoxville.
So, is it right? Not saying this Hall of Fame is right at all. Let's throw right out the way. But I just don't like the idea for being able to get in off a match, not your career. I feel like your career is worth being Hall of Fame celebrated. I don't think a single solitary match is worth being Hall of Fame celebrated, personally.
Well, the way I look at it is like this. First, I have a couple of questions. Number one, is this only for WrestleMania matches? Like, when you do the Immortal Moment, are we doing WrestleMania matches, or are we talking about matches in WWE in general? Because if that's the case, then you would not pick a Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville, because there will never be enough time. Even if this ain't going for another 100 years, they still would not pick that match. So you ain't got to worry about that. But I'm like, does this go into like CM Punk versus John Cena Money in the Bank 2011? Does this do Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker Hell in a Cell Bad Blood? Hell, Mankind versus Undertaker Hell in a Cell? Does this do Stone Cold Steve Austin versus, with The Rock and WrestleMania X7, obviously? Is it going to do, there are so many matches. Are they going to just keep it to WrestleMania matches? Or are they going to expand and do all kinds of matches? That's my first question. And on top of that, I understand what you're saying. It feels like it's cheating, but I gotta have the confidence that Triple H is going to bring this up, that he's going to bring people that's worthy of the match. He's not going to put, the Right to Censor versus Taz and the APA in the Hall of Fame. That's not what we're going to do here. That's not what we're going to do here. But we can get a match like Money in the Bank 3. Or the first Money in the Bank match. But it's like, they can't do that because Benoit's in there. So it's like, you don't want to do that. And then you're going to cause a whole nother debate and outrage.
You said that man's name with no censor.
Yeah, I did. I was just like, I didn't feel like saying Voldemort at the moment, because I wasn't thinking at the moment. But however, that right there, I don't think, they're going to have to look like deeper into it. Because as of right now, it's the first one. So this being the first one, I can agree. I know in the next 5 years, we're going to do like Hogan, Andre. You're going to get the big one out the way. Shawn and Undertaker. Rock and Stone Cold. You're going to get the big stuff out the way first. And then, or Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels in that ladder match at WrestleMania 10. But then you really got to see like how much are we going to really expand on this? Because this is like the UFC approach. UFC, I believe, right, Q, because you watch UFC, they induct matches into like their Hall of Fame or into their Ring of Honor or whatever.
I actually don't know if they do that. As induct matches and the fight. I know they do the fighters.
Yeah.
Because my man was two-time MVP, two-time Hall of Fame on UFC 3.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they induct matches. I'm sure. I feel like they do though.
I feel like they do because
Because I would like to ask, since both of y'all are bigger sports fans than me, is there any sport that just induct like a Hall of Fame game?
Well, no, because it's hard. It's different to do it like when you got a boxing match or like a wrestling match or a UFC match. It's a match. It's a one-on-one thing. Inducting like a game is not going. It's going to be kind of hard to do because like it's the greatest game. It's just two teams.
Yeah, it's all subjective too. So like you can't really. Some people don't think. I don't know. Like not that I'm gonna take it there, but like some people didn't like the recent Super Bowl just because it was belt to ass. Yeah. While Philly fans enjoyed it because it was belt to ass.
It was belt to ass.
So you can't as like team sports like that. It's really hard to call down the middle. As far as like, oh, that was one of the greatest games ever, or that's a Hall of Fame game right there. Like to me it is, but like to other people it might not be. And so it's just like, But when you have like Thriller and Manila, I mean, like you talking about selling the fight, the actual fight, like you feel me?
Yeah.
It's different because it's just like it's one-on-one. Two people got to promo the hell out of that jump. So yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah. So and it says they're part of TKO. I think TKO is taking this different kind of approach to do that. And once again, like I don't mind them inducting matches within reason. And once again, it's to help sell tickets because tickets are not being sold as they should be at WrestleMania weekend because they're so damn expensive. So having Stone Cold in the building for WrestleMania weekend, there are people I would want to go to the Hall of Fame because honestly, I wanted to go to the Hall of Fame last year, but I was like, first of all, I am not a fan of Hall of Fame being at the Smackdown. That's number one. And number two, I wanted to go to the Hall of Fame to see The Undertaker, to see The Rock, because honestly, I know Undertaker was going to be there on night two. So you didn't know that, and just to see, and I like the old school stars come up there and getting their flowers, and it's Paul Heyman, it's Philly. I wanted to see that, So I can understand people want to go to the Hall of Fame, and sometimes you got to pick and choose what you want to do WrestleMania weekend. And if you know Stone Cold and Bret Hart is going to be there, then obviously you would take that opportunity. And I really thought that I know they was going to do the match this year. I thought they was going to pick because there was two rumored people to go into the Hall of Fame. There's still time, but I know it was going to be Ken Shamrock or Kamala. But now Ken Shamrock still may go in because he was the referee of that match. He was the special guest referee of that match. My only issue is, though, Ken Shamrock's career is good enough for him to get to the Hall of Fame by himself. So I would not like if Ken Shamrock is put in the Hall of Fame because he was a referee of this match. That's why I agree with you on that one, Quattro. That's why I agree, like, Ken Shamrock's career is solid enough to get him in the Hall of Fame by himself. He doesn't need to be shoehorned in there as a special guest referee. And there's some matches in there that I would have to agree with you on. That's like, okay, just because you was in this match, you get a Hall of Fame ring. And that's why I can agree with you on that. I'm hoping, and then on top of that, if Ken Shamrock is added to the Hall of Fame class this year, it's like, does he become the first two-time Hall of Famer in the same night? There's a lot of questions for that. But I do think that this is Triple H's way of either taking out the Warrior Award or the Celebrity Inductee. I don't think he's... And I more so think that Triple H is not a fan of the Celebrity Inductee wing of the Hall of Fame. Especially if you didn't have... Well, it's hard to say that because Muhammad Ali was in there last year. Never mind. I forgot all about Muhammad Ali and The Rock, the People's Champion. That's how we got the fucking belt in the first place. Anyway, but yeah. So now I was just trying to get your thought. I mean, I think it's something different. We'll see how it sells.